One of the skills slash mindsets that I've learned recently that made life so much easier is learning to balance the vibe of your day. So just this morning, actually, as I was driving to uni, I got into a car collision. Some might actually call it an accident. I call it metal action. And yeah, it was light. I was just driving, and some dude just hit, with the front of his car hit the waist, the hip of my car, like where the fuel tank is. And yeah, it was light. Still, nevertheless, it scratched the paint of my car. And it ruined the freaking. I need to fix my car now. It ruined the clean record of no accidents that I had for like 2 years. And all in all, it just left me frustrated. So I'm driving to uni now, just boiling kind of like, God damn it, I'm already low sleep and agitated. And you know what happens. You start saying, this is just a shitty day already. And anyway, I get to uni. I want to park, parallel parking. I'm trying to park between two cars. And unfortunately, they're a bit too close to each other. Like, it fits my car definitely, but it's not easy. Some part of me is saying, I'm trying, really, I'm just trying to park between the cars. And just some part of me is saying, screw it, even if it hits, I don't care. And I'm like, I don't know if it's Satan. I'm almost trying to hit it. Like, just so angry. Just trying to parallel park and just so angry. And then I call myself, like, hey, you idiot. If you're going to hit the car while you're trying to parallel park, it's not going to make anything better, right? So I take a breath, I actually invite somebody over to help me parallel park. And just in that moment, I've already kind of just switched the entire trajectory of my day. Instead of letting my anger add insult to injury and just do some hasty, half-ass parallel parking, the trajectory of my day changes. So I go to the class saying, all right, just the terrible accident happened. That's fine. I wanted to add more good things to my day. So I willingly focused in the class more than I would usually because I wanted to learn something that kind of just covers up the negativity that happened earlier in the day. By the end of the class, instead of being like, I had an accident this morning and why am I even going to uni to begin with? Like, I just wasted my time. No, it's like accidents stayed in the morning, but then now I went to uni and actually learned something. And here's another thing that I actually did just today that I don't do usually is I actually got a coffee between class number 1 and class number 2 because, that additional treat is kind of just almost necessary in a day like this to feel like the day is still fine. The day is still palatable, livable. Yeah, it might not be my favorite memory, but it's still like a fine day. So I guess the lesson is, for me, what I'm seeing is you gotta add, number one, you gotta minimize the damage. You gotta do some damage control. You don't want to let your frustration get you into more trouble. You gotta control that, okay? But the main idea is that you always kind of want to stay kind of in a calm, tactical manner. You have to look at whatever's going on. If you see that there is not a lot of good happening, you got to intentionally you got to add something positive. You got to do something good out of something bad. You have to kind of stay mindful of whether kind of life is being fair to you or not in any given moment. And it's hard to explain it, but you got to balance your day. Okay, you got to balance your day. You got to keep the day at least decent. You got to make sure. Naturally, you're going to be frustrated. Naturally, you're going to not care about the car. Just got hit. Screw it. I'm going to scratch it. If you go automatically to the class, you're not going to be focused. You're going to be focused about the car. So intentionally, you have to kind of change that and say, no, I'm going to focus today so that this day is overall going to get better instead of worse, so that I got some benefit out of the class. It's almost like with food, right? You might get a plate where, I don't know, you don't like broccoli, but you like the rice, for example, and you like the chicken, but you don't like the broccoli. If all you have is broccoli and you don't like it, I like it, but if you don't like it, your entire lunch is just bad. Just having the rice and the chicken that you do like just kind of makes the meal a lot more palatable. And it's the exact same thing with your day. It's the exact same thing with uh, if you had a bad thing happen, that's the food you don't like. You gotta balance it with something that you do like.